Hey you guys, let's do another sex ed video. For really good sex, the most important things are how we feel internally. It's not about the positions or the toys or the techniques or how our bodies look or how they function, whether you climax or whether you come from penetration or whether you squirt or you don't, or how big your tits are or how big your dick is. Those are not important. What's important is how you feel about these things, or the narratives you give yourself about sex and how you think it should be, and your internal feelings, your stories about feeling lovable and desirable and worthy, and your ability to be present with your partner and tune into someone and allow yourself to be pleased, being able to pleasure someone and still be able to receive. Some people have a difficulty pleasuring their partner. Some people have difficulty receiving. Some people have difficulty saying no to their partner when they're not in the mood. They just do it as a favor. They have sex with their partner as a favor. Never fuck me as a favor. Just tell me no, okay? Just saying, if anyone watching this ever fucks me. um, also, feeling inadequate. I'm not a real woman because I don't come from penetration. Like, that's such a negative story. Or, a real man would come every time. Like, that's just a story. Like, where did you get that and how does that impact you? I'm a bad person for having sex with you because we're not married. So I have all this guilt and shame. What is that about? How does that impact you? Where did that come from? Do you really want to feel that? Do you really want to believe that? By the way, it made sense for the church to tell people to have sex, to wait for sex until they were married 2,000 years ago, when people got married when they were 12. They didn't have to go through puberty and 10 more years of life being all horny. And besides, there was no birth control back then, and women didn't have jobs. They were the property of men, so it made sense for women to be virgins till they got married. But that's outdated. You guys, this is not 2,000 years ago. The church has not kept up with the times. That's what I want to say about that. But nonetheless, there's some people who are really rooted in tradition and they don't move life forward. That's like saying we still spank children instead of doing conscious parenting. That's what I think about the virginity myth. But I really am a big believer in consensual sex, and I think sometimes people are not being consensual. They're having sex with someone as a favor, an obligation, or a duty. Like, if I don't have sex with you, you'll leave me, or you'll be angry with me, or you'll pout. I have a heavy price to pay if I don't say yes to you. And that could either be an internal story that you're carrying around, or it could really be because you're with someone who's really immature and who holds you responsible for their emotional fulfillment. Saying no to sex if you're not in the mood, if that's uncomfortable for you, that's a big thing for you to start working on, because you're not responsible for your partner's feelings. You're responsible for taking care of yourself. And if your partner gets troubled by you taking care of yourself, then that's a really big problem, in my opinion. Ooh, don't even want to go there. That's a huge problem. You are not responsible for your partner's emotions. That doesn't mean you can go around yelling or mistreating your partner, but I'm just saying, if your partner says, hey, do you want to go see this movie? And you say, I don't like these kinds of movies, and he pouts, that's on him. If he wants to have Greek sex and you don't want to, and he pouts, that's on him. You're not responsible for your partner's emotions. And that's why I think so many people are in relationships before they're fully ready or healed. We have to really get to that point where we take responsibility for our own emotions. And in sex, it's like so easy to get so triggered around, I'm not lovable, my body's dirty, this is gross, my body doesn't function the way it should, or, I don't enjoy sex, or it doesn't feel good. And then all these things make people not want to have sex. If you don't want to have sex, it's okay. There's a reason you don't want to have sex. It probably hasn't felt good. Probably doesn't feel good. If you don't think you're going to enjoy it, you're not going to want to have sex. If you don't think you're going to enjoy sex, you won't want to have sex. Very simple. Totally makes sense. So for me, the really juicy discussions are around that. What makes you not enjoy it? What makes you think that you won't enjoy it? What has happened to make you not enjoy it? What are some things that maybe you could enjoy? I hear often that women don't want to have sex after menopause or something, and I would love to talk to some of these women to see what is their experience and why they don't want to have sex anymore. I'm going to be 60 this year. I just want to share this as my own experience. I don't take any hormone replacement theory. Hormone replacement treatments, I never have. And I still have a normal sex drive. I still lubricate. I don't need lubricate. I rarely need lube for intercourse. I wouldn't say I'm a super horny person. I'm not. I'm just saying that my body still responds. I think that maybe stress is a big libido reducer for women. I'm guessing it's maybe stress or shame around their sexuality or how they feel about their partner. And I would love to work with some women who are experiencing this to see if like healing some of these emotional wounds could make them enjoy sex again, to where they don't need to be like, I've had menopause, I'm done, or I'm just too dry, or I just have a lot of pain. I'm just speculating that this is all inner emotional stuff that comes up. I know other women over 50s, past menopause, who are still enjoying sex. So I'm not quite convinced that it has to do with age. Again, what I'm saying here is that the really juicy, interesting stuff around sexuality isn't about toys or positions or the stuff I read about in Cosmo or giving her more orgasms. It's really about, where am I pushing up against the wall to where I'm afraid to go further? Or where do I feel unworthy or undesirable or uncomfortable? What am I holding back? What do I really want to experience? I think it's that inner internal world. What are the stories I've made up about how sex should be, or things that are okay for women to do or say or not do or say? Like, can I do hot talk? Can I move my body this way? Can I wear this thing? Like, sex to me is like a playground. It's like a journey. It's like an adventure. And hey, I come up against boundaries and limitations myself. I don't have this totally figured out, but that to me is like the fun stuff. And one thing I've been working on lately is to not feel like I have to reassure the man. I found myself often trying to reassure the man that he was good looking enough, or that his penis was adequate, or that I liked how he was going down on me. There was this reassurance. If I don't reassure you, you will not like me, or you will leave me, or you will stop what you're doing, or you won't come back. Like, it's my job to reassure you. And I was just like, that's so disrespectful of someone. Because they're not trying to do that to me. Like, that was a pattern I had that comes from my childhood, where I had to reassure my dad, and I kept carrying that around, and I didn't recognize it until just recently. And so now I tell men, hey, I'm going to trust you to take care of yourself, and I'll take care of myself, and just communicate what you want. And I'm no longer going to feel responsible for reassuring that person. Some of you may have different beliefs, like, I'm not lovable, I'm not worthy, nobody wants me, it's my job to please you, I only matter if I please you. I have to give you an orgasm or you won't enjoy it. And those are all like mental states where you're not even being present in the moment. The orgasm only lasts a few seconds. Unless your partner really wants an orgasm, it doesn't really matter if they have one, to be honest, right? It's like you can go running and enjoy the run without having to race and be like through a finish line. It's okay to just enjoy the experience. And thank you so much for watching my video. If you want to do some coaching with me around your emotional wounding or things that you're held up with in your sexual life, I would love to work with you. Thanks for watching my video.